Hold on. Let me just calm down, take a minute. Oh, that is good. Hello, loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for coming. This is my channel. My name is Mick, or it's Michaela, but I go by Mick. And welcome. I'm so glad that you came and checked out my video. I hope that you stick around for a little bit. I know I have about 4 videos, but this is all a whole new thing for me. So this is my very first sit down video, which, to be honest, is a little bit weird. It's interesting, but as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking today about all things health related, my weight, my backstory, things that I have tried in the past. All of that leads me to, can she actually get healthy? Which is what I am titling this series. So if any of that interests you and you would love to see what my plan is, or if you have any advice, or you just are nosy and want to know, grab yourself a nice cup of coffee, which I have, which is pumpkin spice latte, Starbucks, fake creamer. Grab a snack if you want a snack, and stick around. I'm gonna put this down. So, a little backstory for me. I have always been kind of that like curvy girl. I've always embraced my curves. I overall kind of started gaining weight, or went higher than what was considered healthy right around 9th, 10th grade in high school, so early on high school time. And even when that started happening, I was into sports. I was playing softball, I was playing volleyball. I was always doing fun stuff. So at the time when I started gaining weight, I honestly was kind of not even paying attention to it. I didn't really notice it. And then at about the end of 10th grade or the beginning of 10th grade, I'm not sure when, I decided to stop playing softball, stop playing volleyball, mainly just because I wanted to get a job, because I had all of my friends that were doing fun things and I needed money in order to do all these things. So I got my first job, and then stopped doing all the sports that was essentially keeping me physically active, like to a degree. I wasn't running track or anything because your girl don't like to run, but it was at least stuff that I was doing and things that were like, you know, keeping me a little bit active in high school. So fast forward to, I want to say junior year or maybe even senior year of high school, I just kind of was just gaining weight out of nowhere. I was hanging out with friends, eating fast food, doing whatever, and thinking that I could just eat whatever I wanted and it not be a problem. So that was a hard reality when, you know, junior year that started kicking in, and I was like, oh man, look at my school picture. I look like I've gained a bunch of weight. Like, this is not good. So I decided to try my first diet. So I started my first diet. I, you know, worked out about 6 days a week. I was trying to follow the plan. I was essentially following it to the best that I could. At that age group, I actually did pretty well for some part of the year. It was almost a year that I was on the same plan. I've got an itch. Oh man, that really itches. Ow. So then I hit sort of a plateau. And at the time, I mean, I was a high school student. I didn't really know that much about weight loss and how your body has to adjust and kind of the things I know now. So I hit a plateau. I stayed there about 2 to 3 months. I was doing the same things, eating the same foods, following my plan, working out 6 days a week still, doing a lot of cardio, and the scale would not budge. So in true fashion, I got annoyed and gave up. So gave up on that one. Then a year or so later, decided I was going to try Atkins, which I was about 19 maybe by that time. I think I graduated high school. So I was about 19 at that time. I did Atkins, started it, and I dropped weight like that, like super quick. And for a short amount of time. So it was like maybe 3 months and I dropped like 30 pounds. However, I felt terrible. Like I was not eating the right foods. I was living off of like pepperoni and cheese and like crazy high caloric and high fat things. But of course had cut out a bunch of carbs, and nothing against the Atkins diet. I'm sure people have been really successful with it. And it wasn't that I was not losing weight. It was just that it was not for my body. Like I didn't use enough resources and I didn't educate myself enough to know what I specifically needed to be eating. Instead, I was like, oh, I can have cheese, I'm gonna eat cheese. Oh, I can have ranch, I'm gonna eat ranch. So that was not very long term, and essentially because I felt like crap, I quit. So you can see there's kind of a running theme here. Since then, I have tried Weight Watchers. I've tried a low-fat physician monitored diet. I've tried a 21-day diet. I've tried even Slimming World for like 2 days. And I've even gone to a bariatric doctor. So at this point, all of these in common clearly have me not being successful. Overall, like losing weight has always been a big challenge for me. Not because I haven't committed to a program for at least a short amount of time. Like when I did the first one, I was on it for a year, but that hasn't really been the problem. I get discouraged really quickly because I tend to lose a lot slower than either it statistically says I should lose weight, or I lose a lot slower in comparison to someone else that I may be buddying up with and doing the program with. So that can be extremely frustrating for me. Like I feel like, okay, I'm putting in the work, or okay, I'm eating your plan, give me my results, because I'm an instant gratification person, which is why I'm in the situation I'm in. So changing my mindset on that has been hard because I feel like, you know, the weight should just melt off. It should just happen. It should just magically just disappear. But that doesn't always happen. And it definitely doesn't happen if I'm not consistent and I don't do it longer than I think is adequate for me to do it. And I'm at that point now where I'm like, okay, you've got to stop quitting. You've got to stop quitting. So I'm holding myself accountable. I'm putting things out there. I'm letting it be known. I'm bringing people on my journey, aka you guys, to see, can I actually get healthy? Can I do it? So if anything, now I've got health things that have come up, and I have a wedding in less than 8 months, which if that is not motivation enough with in conjunction the health history, then I don't know what is. I feel like that's gotta be enough motivation in itself, right? Pumbaa, my dog just got in the way. I tried to kick my dog out, but all he did was bark at the door. So he's in here and he just hit my tripod, so if it gets a little earthquakey, it's because of Pumbaa. That brings us to a couple of weeks ago. I reached out to an old colleague of mine that I had actually worked with maybe about a year or two ago. And I said, hey, like, I know that you've lost some weight in the past. Like, she lost, I want to say 60 or 70 pounds. And all of a sudden it was like I blinked one day and she was like small. And I was like, hey, you know, reached out to her through social media. I said, you know, I'm really trying to get serious about what I want to do in order to get my life together, get healthier, get ready for this wedding. I want to feel the best that I can feel on my wedding day and feel like I am just pretty and confident. And I also want my health to be in order. So she was like, yeah, no problem. Like, let me give you a call. We'll chat about the program that I'm doing, or that I did, and now that I'm a coach of. And I said, okay, yeah, no problem. So talk to her, and come to find out she's doing a program called Optavia. which surprisingly, even though I've had all this diet history, have never heard of that. Okay, well, let me get some information about it. And she told me about it. You essentially tell them sort of what your goals are and what you want to do. And then they have different plans based off of that. So I'm on what they call the 5-in-1 plan, which is I have 5 of their meals, or they call them fuelings. They're essentially like very small snacks, potential snack shakes in there, and small things overall, but training your body to eat every 2 to 3 hours. So you have 5 fuelings a day, and then 1 lean and green meal, which is essentially like a healthy meat like turkey, fish, chicken, and then you have 3 servings of low carb vegetables in a kind of various forms that you can have them in, broccoli, cauliflower, you could have salads and greens. Anyway, so you have those, and then you have a couple of optional snacks that are in there, which you can choose to have or not have, but you can only have 1 a day. So I was like, okay, slept on it, thought about it a little bit, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I've got nothing to lose here. I might as well just jump in and give it a try. So called her the next day, said, you know what? I'm in, let's do it. She got my first box ordered, which is a 30-day supply of everything that you'll need for the first 30 days. So that was actually 2 weeks ago. So I've been on plan, which is what they call it, on plan for the past 2 weeks. So it has been tough. I'm not gonna lie. It has been a lot more restrictive and a challenge, and completely different than any of the other programs that I've tried. So the discipline and your focus has to be a little bit different than, say, Weight Watchers, when you can just choose to do something that has less calories or choose to do something that has free points. This is a lot more structured. So that's where I'm at with everything now. The program really emphasizes that there's multiple components that go on into your healthy journey that you learn as kind of stepping stones along the way. Like the healthy eating, of course, is a major component, but then also there's hydration, there's your sleep quality, there's your mentality, there's all sorts of mindfulness and different things that play a role in your overall health and what's going to make you the best you. So I like that component of it. Came with a huge book. It's essentially like a journal for you, with like little elements and details that it has in there for you to write in, do whatever you want, read over things, learn your, mind and food connection and how that all plays a role. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm working towards. So this time around, I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I am knowing that I'm going to have ups and downs, and I'm going to have more than just a 5-month turnaround. I'm going to have a whole journey. I'm going to have weeks that I gain weight. I'm going to have weeks that I lose a bunch of weight. I'm going to have weeks that I stay completely the same, or weeks that I plateau. So I'm trying to mentally go ahead and prepare myself for that. That's going to happen. I don't know if Optavia will be the only plan that I ever do, or if it'll be the plan that works the best for me. But I know from this step forward and like moving forward, I am only going to be working towards getting healthy. I have to get healthy, and there's no time better than right now for me to do this. So it's time to lock it up and get it together. I'm planning to do weekly updates, planning to do just various videos about how it's going, how the journey's going, what my foods look like, the eating plan, all sorts of different things that I want to include. I hope that you guys will join me on that process as well, because it would be awesome to have even more support in my journey as well, and knowing that other people out there may be going through the same thing, or on the same program, or interested in giving advice on what's been successful for them in the past. Please leave me a comment down below with any sort of tips and tricks or thoughts, encouragements, anything like that. Anything that could potentially be a resource for me in the future. I think that kind of wraps it up with my backstory about everything weight related and how I got here. This video is probably already going to be 1,000,000 hours long, and I don't want to bore you with, you know, the details of every single diet I've ever done. Like, how do you end a video? How do you end a sit down video like this? Should I just wave? That's awkward. No one is standing here. How do you end a video like this? Well, thank you guys for watching as I just contemplated how to end this video. I will catch you all next time. Bye!